Hello and welcome once again to my garage here in Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. As you can see, the garage is empty, except for my latest trophy car. So it's time to go to the junkyard and see what we can find. So let's cross our fingers and hope for something cool, shall we? Okay, here we are. And I see two things in front of me. What is this? This is a modded Ferrari. Ferrari 488. And this looks like a Mustang. A modded Mustang. A Shelby GT350. Okay. And what's over here? Oh, look. Is this another Tempesta? Whoops. Get a little bit closer. Oh, a Zonda. Okay. And this is the Mercedes AMG. That's another mod. I haven't done one of these cars yet, but I'm more interested in the Zonda. What else is there? And this, I think, is the Porsche 918. Another mod, which I have downloaded and still haven't worked on. I'll keep that in my back pocket for later. What else is here? There's something over there. Oh, that's a Lamborghini Countach, I think. Might be a Diablo. No, it's a Diablo. Yeah, Diablo. Mercedes. Two of these Mercedeses. That's, And this, I think, is Fairlady Z, yeah. This is one I need to just delete this mod, I think. It's got a right-hand drive in it. I don't really like that mod very much. I want to see that AMG, that other AMG. Okay, Mercedes AMG GT 4-door. Four-door coupe. Did the other one say four-door coupe? I think it must have. I hope it did. I don't want to end up like I did with those two LX550s. It turned out to not be the same car. Yeah, it is the same. Okay. Okay, now we're going back. Okay, so I'm going to do the Zonda. These other two cars I may just do in my own time. I want to shuffle some cars around here real quick. Yeah, those two are identical, so I might I might do a video on both of them. Twin turbo DOHC. I don't even know what engine that comes from. This one is 20 grand, and this one is 17 grand. But those two cars will build out. I'll have to think about it. I am inclined mainly to just do those cars on my own and not do a whole video on them. But we'll see. The Zonda's pretty easy to put together, though, I think. Doesn't have a radiator in it either, does it? I don't think it does. Oh yeah, it is. Way up there. Radiator A. These Zonda parts are nuts, man. The hood and the clamshell, $5,000. Another $3,000 for the bumpers, so $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 for body parts alone. The windows and mirrors and lights are like practically cheap compared to that. I put in that other window? Yeah, I did. Okay. The factory color looks like this nice green. I have to see what it looks like when it's painted, but I think I may keep that. I like that green. I know this car uses these side tanks. Okay, let's paint this thing now. See what it looks like. Oh yeah, that green is really nice. And on the carbon fiber it looks really good. I'm going to have to make a note of these settings. Had to write that down on my notepad really quick. Okay, so this is a rear engine car. The transmission and everything is in the back, so we'll start with the front. There's no cross member, so that means there's fewer bushings. 4 fewer bushings that I'll need to buy for this. And I just noticed that I didn't install the radiator fan. I accessed it through the engine bay. I don't know why it won't let me do that. Oh well. Let's start buying the other stuff that we need. So 8 bushings. Tie rods and sway bars. And let's go ahead and buy the suspension parts, or the shock absorber parts, since the sway bars count as suspension. Replace all the hub parts. Okay, so we can flush these, and let's dismount the wheels, and we'll try and repair the rest. That rim is 21%, so probably not. And this rim is 20. There's a possibility, but I won't hold my breath. Slick tires, 255, 35, 19. Okay, good, I bought the correct tires. I always have to check because I have screwed that up too. I'll be darned, I managed to repair both of the rims. Something broke. Okay, front axle, that's not bad. Front axle knuckle cover, upper suspension arm, and that's all. We'll get these tires mounted and balanced, and then we can reassemble the front end there. Okay, now we can put all this stuff back in. Okay, halfway there. Okay, that part's done. I like doing the Zonda rebuilds. They tend to be pretty fast as rebuilds. I'm gonna get in there and put that radiator back in before I forget, because it's gonna drive me berserk. Which means I have to take the clamshell back off to get in there. Might as well just leave the clamshell off because it's going to have to come off to take the engine out anyway. Okay, let's grab the transmission and the clutch. The engine looks like it's only just an engine block and a crankshaft, too. Yeah, there's no pistons. There's no pistons in it, so it's just an engine block and a crankshaft. It's hardly even worth using the engine crane to get it out. That way, at least the engine stand will be prepped for the proper engine. So I don't have to page through the listings looking for the right engine. Okay, now let's start buying the other stuff that we need. And since it's just a double wishbone rear suspension, there's no sway bar for the back, or tie rods for that matter. Rear wheel hub B. Okay, let's get the clutch stuff and the brake stuff. Okay, and here we get to start buying the first of our performance parts. Okay, let's dismount. I'm going to go ahead and buy the gearbox before I forget. Dismount the wheels. For a second there, I was afraid I'd bought the wrong gearbox. And those rims. This one of them is 13%. I'm afraid I may not get that one back. Yeah, I didn't get one of them back. Okay. So I can sell that for 850 bucks. And let's see, I need to buy tires, 355, 30, 20. Okay, so that can go. So I need to buy the crankshaft V12. Rear axle B, knuckle housing D. Okay, let's get these tires mounted and balanced, and then we can assemble as much of the rear end as we can before we have to go work on the engine. Oh, I should have done that sooner. Okay, now we're good to go. Start sticking parts back on this thing. Get a nice view of that chrome pipe there. Okay, that's as far as we can go until the engine is done, so let's go get on that. And let's buy all the bearings we need. This is a V12, right? Yeah, V12. If we can't repair this engine block, we're going to be building this thing basically from scratch. I mean, we're building it from scratch as it is, since all we really have to work with is the engine block. Since the crankshaft broke on us, yeah, the engine block, we saved that, and I bought a crankshaft so we can get going. I'm going to have to buy heads and camshafts and everything. Alternator and power steering pump. There is no performance version of the V12 power steering pump, unfortunately. Gonna need that water pump for sure, might as well just buy it now. This is where we bolt everything under the sun down. Oh man, that's a lot of bolts. I sure hope the heads don't have rocker arms or I'm going to throw this. I swear to God, I'm going to eat my mouse. have to see what heads I need. Engine head A and B V12. I should buy spark plugs too while I'm here. Whoa, what was that? It's always kind of disconcerting as you add more things and more things start popping up. And then it's like, whoa, where'd that come from? So I need manifolds and camshafts. If I remember right, this thing has like 4 different... It has manifold A and B, camshaft V12, intake manifold V12A. So manifold V12A, and I need 2 each of these. I think there's coil packs that go with this thing too. At least it uses generic... Oh, it does have camshaft caps. Oh, I was afraid of that. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, so 20 camshaft caps. There's the fuel... excuse me. Excuse me, I had a frog in my throat. The fuel rail V12. And the exhaust manifolds now, if I can get to where I can touch them. Okay, and where is... I know what I need... Yeah, I need this thing. There's an air filter that goes in there, too. It's a bummer that I have to put this cover on there. Hide those pretty red intake trumpets. Okay, let's get our head covers and our timing belt, serpentine belt. Gonna need coils too. Oh, I forgot to buy the serpentine belt. Let's see, and there's a bunch of shoes. A and two B's. Timing covers A, B, and C, and I know there's another cover that goes there. That was the wrong one. Okay, so roller A, roller B, crank V8, and two water pump pulleys. No, not crank V9. There we go. Okay, serpentine belt B, and I bet there's a belt tensioner that goes there. Okay, and that should do it. I think everything is here. Yep. Take a moment to bask in the magnificence of the V12 engine. Let's buy a starter. Oops. Let's buy a starter V8 because I know I'm going to need one. And now we can go install this thing. Oh, got to put the car back down. And back up we go. Okay, that should be parts 100%. Now let's see if we can find the oil. I'm not sure where the oil cap on this thing is. Oh, there it is, way hiding under there. Okay, once we put the clamshell back on it and the lights back in there, the car should be 100%. Yep, 100% across the board. So let's take her to the dyno and see what she does. Factory engine power 800. I'm gonna guess, let's say 1100. No, let's say 1200. Very nearly doubled it. Shocks me. Okay, so now we need to go drive. Now we need to go drive the car and see what happens. Sorry, I got kind of a frog in my throat there at the last second. Like in the sunlight. Yeah, it's really kind of it's a deeper green than the one that I put on that Barracuda the other day. But with the texture from the carbon fiber, it looks almost like, I don't know, like a lizard skin maybe? I do like this green quite a lot. Alright, let's see if we can keep the thing in a straight line. I expect to be sliding all over the place. Oh my, what happened? I just looked up and noticed that the timers were running. And skidding all over the place, which is what I was afraid of. 246 miles an hour, I think that's the fastest car that I've built. Okay, so we have rebuilt the car to 100%, we've driven it, and now it's time to sell it. And I honestly cannot remember how much it cost in the junkyard. I'm going to have to refer back to the beginning of the video later, because I just totally spaced it somehow. I have no idea how much I paid for this car. But we're going to clear $600,000 on it. 601,000 at least. Yeah. I gotta tell you, this is how you make money in this game. You buy cars and you flip them. And that put me over $50 million. It's not a hard thing to do, really. So, that was a pretty successful trip to the junkyard, I think. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope to see you again in our next episode of Junkyard Pickups. So on that note, bye for now.